Time for your pattern predictions. A look at the next 2 weeks of weather, which takes us into the first week of April. Meteorologist Danielle Noyes here. And yes, you can get the 2-week forecast right in our free weather app. If you haven't downloaded it yet, it's the only weather app you need. Search 1 Degree Outside Weather in the App Store and Google Play. And this is the why behind the forecast, what you may see change or wiggle a little bit in the 14-day in our app. Let's start with the surface weather forecast. Showed you this last week as well. No big change to the fact that there will be some intense record-breaking heat that continues across portions of the West Coast, the Southern Plains, and a little chunk of that in moderated form will come into New England with the warmest day, at least of the next couple weeks, on Thursday. Now, we get a reinforcing shot of cool air that comes in behind it, feeling like winter again as we kick off the upcoming weekend. Then you notice as we head into the start of April, big time warmth builds into the central United States. So it's actually a pattern shift that comes into the West Coast with cooler than average temperatures. A little chunk of that warmth from April 1st onward will come into New England, but with ups and downs. So ahead of these fast-moving disturbances, we get mild, then the cooler air comes right back in behind it. So bottom line, the surface temperatures show that, but also through a column of the atmosphere, the height to 500 millibars representing the purples, the blues, a colder than average layer, and the oranges, the warmth. There's that ridge out over the west promoting the warmth through the final few days of March and then builds into the central United States for the start of April. Notice a lot of the cold air consolidating up in Canada, but we are still kind of on the edge on that boundary of some warmth, at least a bit of a shift as we head into the first week of April for more moderation in temperatures and more seasonable temperatures. Keep in mind for the start of April, our average highs should be in the lower 50s. And we get there, although it's ups and downs, kind of classic spring here. All you need is one backdoor front to really cool things off. Through the Thursday timeframe, we're up around 60. Then the cold air snaps in behind it. Well below average, actually, for the last full weekend of March. Upper 30s on Saturday for a New England-wide average, then 40s on Sunday. Next week, we go up and down a little bit, but you notice that through the first week of April, we should feature temperatures right around, maybe even just over 50. It will all come down to the timing of some of those disturbances. Out ahead of them, we get mild, we get cooler right behind it. And the same goes for the overnight lows. The coldest day looks like it'll be Saturday morning with widespread 20s, teens to the north, so a feel of winter. Have been hearing from more and more folks too about planting. Not quite yet, of course, still below average temperatures, below freezing through the first couple of days of April, and then a little moderation, but you figure with mid to upper 30s for a New England-wide average, we will have colder readings the farther north you go. It all comes down to the jet stream. Look at that big ridge that builds into the central United States, actually all the way up into central Canada here for the start of the month. But where are we? On the back side of it here. So the jet stream positioned over us, and what happens after that for the first week of April is it's still nearby. That zonal flow west to east, multiple disturbances coming in, promoting that springtime showery weather, but outside of a couple days, hard to say in terms of exact timing and how much rain will fall. One thing I do think in the app that you'll notice is over the coming couple of days through midweek, the chance of precipitation will go up because there is a round of a couple of showers that will come in, particularly Wednesday night, and then again Thursday night into Friday. Friday, you may get a lingering shower early, and then that percent chance does go down for the upcoming weekend, briefly for the start of next week, and then it goes back up with, again, several disturbances coming by. These numbers, 30, 40, 50%, don't mean that it's going to rain the entire day, but rather that as we get these fronts that come in, they'll promote showers. And that also means there will be several rounds of lower amounts of precipitation. They do add up in general, all the way from the northern plains to the Midwest into New England for a widespread 1 to 2 inches of rain. But over this 2-week period, we may actually end near or slightly below average in terms of precipitation overall. Winter is not done yet either. Look at this, the predicted snowfall over the next 10 days, a ton in Western Canada. That does extend east with some pockets of snow in through Canada. And where else? Yes, here in northern New England, pretty good agreement here that we still get a widespread 3 to 6 inches and 6 to 12 in some of the highest summits across northern New England through this 10-day period. A lot of that focused here as we get into the end of the week, and still some upslope mountain snow showers here on the backside of these disturbances as the colder air comes in. Track it all, of course, with our app. You've got access to our membership opportunities on there as well. Thank you to the over 1,000 of you that have joined for membership levels. We're so appreciative of the support of our independent mission. You can find out the details if you want to sign up at membership.onedegreeoutside.com. Thanks so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this 1 Degree Outside video.
Get exclusive content, support the mission at membership.onedegreeoutside.com. And don't forget, free and 5 stars on the App Store and Google Play. Search the #1 Degree Outside Weather.